Wir sind immer noch auf der Messe in Essen 2014 am Stand von Syrinscape. And next to me is Ben. Hello.
Hello, greetings.
What is Syrinscape?
Well, we've all used music in our tabletop role-playing games. We like to bring that atmosphere which you get in a movie. I used to use movie soundtracks and bits and pieces of music that I knew from the radio and things like that. It was never quite right, but it adds a lot of mood, and a lot of people are very aware of that. I started thinking, what about the sound of the wind and the crash of thunder and all those sorts of things? So I started trying to cobble together a few sort of bits and pieces of sound effects and trying to set them off at the same time as the music. A lot of people are thinking, you know, they want sound at the gaming table. You go to a movie, you got sound, why wouldn't you have it at the table? You play a computer game, you have beautiful environmental music, you have sounds going off. Syrinscape does that all automated for you. It runs the whole world, all the sounds of the world, or birds, or distant monster roars, the bubbling brook, the clashes of swords, and all that, all automated for you.
So this is more than just a playlist you run during the game in the background.
That's right. And the biggest thing for me of Syrinscape is it's all preset and set up. You can customize just the sound environment you want, so it's ready to play. And when you actually do play, you just give a single click on Syrinscape and it moves into that sound, so that sort of mode. So say you've got a medieval town, there's a single scroll, and you click there, it's ready to go while the players are role-playing, and then you just do a single click and the sound of Syrinscape transforms into a medieval town, or goblins attacking, or a dragon attacking, or whatever you're doing.
So this is how you specialize the soundtrack, I call it, for an adventure pass or for an whole evening.
That's right. So let me give you a quick little demo. If we go down to Thunderstorm, we have a beautiful preset here with the height of the storm. There's lots of thunder and lightning. The players are annoyed because it's wet. It's really great. And then we go up here to Dragon Battle. Now you can just set off a preset, a normal preset with a dragon, but there's no storm in that dragon. So instead we turn on the claw scratches and the broken walls, and the angry dragon roars. So now it sounds like this. Have a listen. Now the sounds of the storm are still going. I want to save that for myself, so I say dragon in storm, misspelled terribly, and I save that preset. And then when I want to set that off, I just simply click that preset and Syrinscape goes into that mode. And then once the battle's finished, I go back down to storm, and I just go, the storm has passed. And if you have a little listen to that now, have a little listen to this. Nothing will ever attack you again. So yeah, so you can set it up exactly as you go. So if you listen to one of these battle sets, I'll start the Bugbear battle, which is the one that comes free with it when you download it. Fantastic battle music running. We've got the clashing of axes and shields. If I want more axes and shields, I can just turn it up and make it a bit louder. If I want to set off a battle cry, I can use the soundboard over here. I can make the music softer or louder and save that preset, so it's exactly like I want it. And I don't have to do anything to it. The main thing is that I hate to turn the attention of game masters away from their players, because we're playing a social game here. It's about connecting and being with your friends. I really hate it when game masters are turning away and staring at rules or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I think most of the players, they are familiar with music in the background. But what would you tell people that aren't comfortable with technical devices at the gaming table? I think this is something different than just 1 second I turn on the music and then it turns back to the gaming table.
Absolutely. That's essentially why I made the app. The load for me of trying to develop the sounds and run simultaneous players, and even having to set off a bird every time I wanted a bird. What Syrinscape does when there's a bird track is it actually there might be 10 samples of birds. At a randomized interval, it'll pick up a single bird sample, put it in a random direction in surround sound at a random distance. So if it's further away, it'll be more echoey in the forest. If it's closer, it'll be louder and drier. I don't have to do anything. It just plays a bird every now and then. And no patterns emerge, because the birds are completely separate from the babbling brook sound or from the squirrel running past sound. So you don't end up with these patterns where you get sort of caw, caw, nibble, 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 nibble. Actually, when I was doing this myself with trying to do it in sound editors and things like that, I ended up with the players stopping the game and noticing the sound. And of course, that's distracting from our games that we're doing. So What was the actual question? Yes, technical devices. So when I play, I usually just have a tablet sitting flat on the table. It sits there, it's open all the time, it doesn't go dark or anything like that. As long as you have the brightness set not too bright, then it goes. So it's just that single touch. You just reach over and touch the tablet when it's time to transform the sound. And that's really, really important to me, yeah. So it doesn't really, all it does is add to the adventure. It doesn't attract attention to itself. There's no lyrics in the music, there's no big foreground. And it really adds to the game, that's the main thing.
So it's integrating in the game, it's like a dice roll, but you just press the button, you have the sound instead of, oh, you're battling, now let's see how you're doing. And then you have the sound.
That's right, absolutely. And if you want to call up specific sounds, like this one, put the mic there, it's the most important sound in our role-playing game. So if you're playing kind of a silly sort of game, the Wilhelm scream can be very, very useful. We also have fantastic spell effects like a fireball. Even musical stings like this sort of one. Ich bin deine Schwester. So yeah.
So it's very easy to use.
Yeah, absolutely. During development we had lots of arguments, discussions, a lot of hard work to really bring the interface down to absolute bare bones, what you could only really need at the gaming table. So there's a bit of customization, but you can do that all before you start playing. The app comes with lots and lots of presets, so you don't really even need to do anything. If you just want to go to town, just go to town. Here we are, Brindletown, and you know, Bard's Day Off. And if you point the mic at that, it's almost nothing. Just a bubble of people. Pretty much like SPIEL, Essen. You know, hawkers calling out every now and then. Maybe a cart will roll past. You know, you probably won't hear that same cart for another hour or so.
So there's some basic sounds that come with the app, and you can download more sounds, I think.
That's right. So the fantasy player and the sci-fi player both come with 2 free sound sets. You don't even have to register or anything. And then basically you can see demo videos on the website of every single sound set there is. You can buy them individually for $4 US. And you can also subscribe to the fantasy player. We have a license with Paizo for Pathfinder, and we're actually preparing specific packs of adventure sounds for their adventure paths. We're halfway through Rise of the Runelords now, and that makes Rise of the Runelords just a single click all the way down through the adventure with all those fantastic monsters which we're basically pulling out one by one and creating separate sound sets. So this month we just did a fantastic stone giant, horrible hags, disgusting ogrekin, you know, with farting sounds and everything. Yay! And yeah, so there's a lot of content coming out in the sci-fi player. So with the subscription, you own permanently everything that comes out while you're a subscriber. You're basically paying for that. Plus, the entire back catalogue, which is everything you can see on it today, all lights up as long as you remain a subscriber. So it basically turns the whole thing on.
Well, I think, thank you very much for the demonstration. I hope you do well with this. And
thank you. Most people who encounter this app are generally saying, you know, this is what I've tried to do for years. It's been really difficult. Why hasn't someone made this before?
I just want to ask, how's the response from the people here?
Oh, fantastic. People are lovely. People literally just say, oh my God, that's amazing, that's fantastic. So they grab it, they download it, and then what's really lovely about the gaming community is lots of involvement. You know, people really ask for what they want, and they whinge for the content that they need. And this interface is really the result of that community working on it and making suggestions. And that's what I love this community. It's so involved, so positive and supportive.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet you.